Welcome back to the channel. So in this one, we're going to be doing something we haven't really done for a while now, which is IPv6. I think I should put that in our notes here. IPv6 OSPF, right? We're going to see how IPv6 actually works. We're going to assign, and I have listed out IPv6 addresses, which is what we're going to assign to all these interfaces connected to the router. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's first of all I'm doing the automatic connection, so I would just be a bit faster on it. Uh, yeah. So this interface is 000. This interface is 001. So we know that this is the address for this interface. This is the address of this. This is the IPv6 address for this interface, and this for this, and just like that. So we're getting right into it. So of course we want to go into our CLI. We want to say no, enable. Let me turn off my caps lock. Configure terminal. And once we're in our configure terminal, um, to assign IPv6 addresses, we have to do something, very simple. And that thing is, unlike IPv4 where we just say IP add, for IPv6 we always have to first of all activate or turn on the IPv6 routing by saying IPv6 unicast routing. When we say this, we've activated IPv6 that we want to work with IPv6 here. And then we are getting into the interface. Interface is 0/0/0. Now we are in this interface here and we want to assign the IPv6. We can say IPv6 address. We have 2001 DB8 CAFE1 colon 164. Okay, then don't forget to say no short, and just like that we have configured IPv6 interface for IPv6 address for that interface. I want to get into the other interface, the 0/0/1, and we want to say IPv6 add. We have 2001. Okay, DB8 CBED1 colon 164, and we'll say no short here. We've done that configuration for this interface. Now we're moving into the next router. So of course enable configure terminal IPv6 unicast routing. Okay, then we're entering the interface 0/0/0. Then IPv6 add. I think this should be the 000. Let's confirm. Great. So IPv6 add 2001 DB8 CAFE1 colon 2/64. No short. Exit. Then we're getting into 0/0/1. IPv6 add 2001 DB8 ABCD 1 colon 1/64. Okay, no short. Then we're coming to our router 3. So enable configure terminal IPv6 unicast routing int gig 0/0/0. I think this should be 0/0/0. Let me confirm. Okay, I'm correct. 0/0/0 IPv6 add 2001 DB8 ABCD 1 colon colon 2 64 no short exit IPv6. Okay, I'm on interface gig 0/0/1 IPv6 and 1DB 8 CBED 1 colon colon 2 /64. Right. And I think it's pretty important. Okay, I didn't do no shots for this. No shots. Alright. Now we are done assigning IP addresses to each interface. Next thing to do would be our OSPF's configuration. So I think it's really important I get to put all of these commands that I've used here so that you also can, work with it. IPv6, unicast, routing, then interface, you enter the interface, then IPv6 address, then no short. Then we want to configure the OSPF for this, right? So first of all, I think let's get into the IPv6. We want to configure IPv6 OSPF or OSPF version 3, whichever you choose to call it. So let's put our question mark. What are the things we can do? So first I typed IPv6 and you can see all the various commands. You can see, initially, if you want to configure OSPF, all you just have to say is router OSPF, then ID. But for this, we have to say IPv6 router. We have to specify it, and you can see OSPF here. So OSPF. Then we have to assign a process ID. So we can assign any process ID from 1 to this, like we see here. So let's say we want to assign process ID of 25. And what do we see here? Could not pick a router ID. Please configure manually. So we have to assign a router ID. This router ID has to be unique for each router. So this one is going to be 1.1.1.1. Let's just give you 1.1.1. And that's that. And the next thing we can do here is to simply, we're just going to type out the interfaces where we want this to receive that. This OSPF and ID, it should receive that. So we're just going to say 0/0/0 and let me bring this back again. Then interface. Okay. The next thing we want to do is assigning the area. Remember, area is very important, right? IPv6, we not give it 25. 25. Yes. So we want to assign area. Let's give it area 0. So yeah, let me confirm it is. I think what interface did I enter initially? Okay. Let me just confirm what I did again. Interface gig 0/0/0. IPv6 SPF 25 area 0 exit interface gig 0/0/1 IPv6. So why this is important? Because unlike IPv4, in IPv6 you have to get into all, like, each of those interfaces. In IPv4, you just be on the network and kind of like call all the, you just be on the OSPF and add all the networks in there. But for IPv6, you have to enter the interface and activate OSPF and its area, right? And we want to do same thing for here. IPv6 router OSPF25, right? Then we have to give router ID 2.2.2, ID 2.2.2. Then let's get into the interface 0/0/0, IPv6 OSPF 25 area 0, interface gig 0/0/1 area 0. That's that. So coming in to this, our router 3 and IPv6 router OSPF 25, ID would be 3.3.3.3, then 0/0/0, IPv6 OSPF 25 area 0, again 0/0/1. Yes, and that's just that. We are very much done. You can see it's even telling us that okay, it has found a neighbor. It has found on the 001 interface, its neighbor is the router ID 1.1.1, and the 000, the neighbor is the 2.2.2, right? So another way we can just use to confirm all of what we've done here is to simply, we can is there no show command here? Okay, we can show IPv6 OSPF neighbor, and you can see the neighbors of the router 1. You see, on the 000 interface, this interface is 2.2 and this interface is 3.3. And if you even do this same command, do the show OSPF neighbor on all of the routers, you'd find same information, right? Another thing we can do is say, let's say do show IPv6 OSPF route. Show IPv6 OSPF routes. What's going on now? Let's say something. IPv6 routes. Okay. So, like you can see already, when you see O, it means O is the OSPF, right? So these are the ones it is connected to via OSPF. So yes, I do hope this was pretty helpful. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one. And before that, I think let me just populate the IPv6 configuration for the OSPF that we did here. We did the IPv6 router OSPF 25. Then we assigned router ID. We assigned router ID. Then we entered an interface, or let me just use complete for one that we did, right? So at least someone can understand better. 1.1.1. So interface, you have to enter the interface gig 000, and you assign the USPF 25. You are assigning the area. We use the area 0. We also ran a little command to confirm our configuration, which was the show IPv6 OSPF neighbor. and we did show IPv6 route. So this should be able to, hopefully this should help in all of that. So maybe I'm just going to put this in between here. So yes, thank you so very much, guys. If you had any issue that you love, you could just type in the comment section, and I would be super excited to help out. Thank you so much for this one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.